It is my pleasure to welcome you to the Sherman Township Hall. My name is Sierra Malak, and I will provide you some background information on this afternoon's performance. I encourage you to stay for the appearance of Mrs. Irene Butter. Irene uses her Holocaust survival experience to promote child's acceptance of diversity. She will tell her courageous story of her time in Auschwitz with Anne Frank. At the back of the hall in No Man's Land, a historical memoir is available for purchase. We also have copies available to win on our raffle ticket. This spring we have a great raffle table with all prizes generously donated by our local businesses. There's sure to be something of interest for everyone. Upon arrival, you receive one free ticket per paid admission. More tickets are available at $1 a piece or 6 for $5. Names will be drawn on March 19th. Please provide an accurate phone number on the raffle ticket to call. As with fall's performance, we are doing a mock Oscars awards once more. This is a hit with students. Jars with their information are located next to the raffle table. Please vote by monetary donation for whom you believe has the best acting this afternoon. This afternoon, Mason County Eastern will perform The Diary of Anne Frank. The story follows a young Jewish girl forced into hiding during World War II. Lights will go dark periodically to allow the actors' costume changes. These breaks will not be long. Halfway through, there will be a 15 to 20-minute intermission. During this intermission, please check out our back area where prizes, cookies, drinks, and our mock Oscars awards are located. At this time, I ask everyone to silence their phones. If children get restless, please bring them to the back of the hall. We may have something at the hall. Without further ado, I now present to you Mason County Eastern production of The Diary of Anne Frank.
July 6, 1942. A few days ago, Father began to talk about going into hiding. He said it would be very hard for us to live cut off from the rest of the world. He sounded so serious, I felt scared. Don't worry, Annika. Just enjoy your carefree life while you can. Carefree? I was born in Frankfurt on June 12, 1929. Because we're Jewish, my father emigrated to Holland in 1933. He heard Hitler's marching gang sing that horrible song, When Jew Blood Spurts from the Knife, and knew it was time to leave. But Hitler invaded Holland on May 10, 1940. 5 days later, the Dutch surrendered, the Germans arrived, and the trouble started for the Jews. Father was forced to give up his business, manufacturing products used to make jam. We couldn't use streetcars, couldn't go to the theater or movies anymore, couldn't be out in the street after 8 p.m., couldn't even sit in our own gardens. We had to turn on our bicycles. No beaches, no swimming pools, no libraries. We couldn't even walk on the sunny side of the streets. Our identity cards were stamped with a big black J, and we had to wear the yellow star. But somehow life went on, until yesterday, a call-up notice from the SS. My sister Margot was ordered to report for work in Germany to the Westerbork transit camp. A call-up. Everyone knows what that means. At 5:30 this morning, we closed the door of our apartment behind us. My cat was the only living creature I said goodbye to. The unmade beds, the breakfast things on the table, all created the impression we'd left in a hurry. In our destination, we walked 2.5 miles in the pouring rain, all the way to 263 Prinsengracht. Father's office building, our hiding place, the secret annex, is right behind it upstairs. Even though the Germans forced Father out, he still runs the office with Mr. Kraler and me, who've offered to help us while we're in hiding.
All right!
Wow, me.
Mr. Frank, thank God you arrived safely. Me. And Mrs. Frank, Margot, you must be exhausted. If we'd known, we would have had it ready for you.
You've done too much already, Nick. Besides, it's good for us to keep busy. As you see, my hands run a little helpless.
I see that. Peter, come in!
Welcome, Peter. Peter Van Dyne, children.
Welcome to the index.
This is my daughter, Anne, Margot, and my wife, Mrs. Frank.
Mrs. Frank.
Forgive me, Peter. I'm not quite like myself lately. Oh, we glad you be joining us. I am too.
A cat? He has a cat.
A black one.
We had a cat. I wanted to bring her, but I know the neighbors will take great care of her while we're gone. It'll be so much fun having a cat here. Won't it be fantastic?
And Peter doesn't know you yet.
He'll know me sure enough. It'll be so much fun having a whole other family here. Won't it, Margot?
Yes.
Like being on a vacation in some strange country. An adventure, romantic yet dangerous at the same time.
What is it, Peter?
My parents, they were right behind me. One street away.
They'll be here.
You don't think they were?
Don't worry, Peter. You're just like me.
Mother's always jumping at every little thing. What's its name?
Mushy.
Mushy! Mushy! I love that. Where do you go to school?
They set up technical school in somebody's old house.
I went to the Montessori school, but had to transfer to the Jewish Lyceum.
I know. I saw you there.
You did?
See? What did I tell you? Now we're all here.
Just in time. We had to take a long way around. There were too many police on the streets.
Welcome, Mrs. Von Don. Mr. Von Don. You know my wife, of course, and the children.
We must hurry. They're the workmen. They will be here in a half an hour.
Such trouble we're causing you, Mr. Fairley. After all you and me have done for us, and now we arrived early.
You couldn't let your daughter be taken away, Mr. Frank.
Please don't worry. We'll try everything we can to help. Now I must run and get your ration books.
Wait, if they're staring at the ration books, won't they know we're here?
Trust me, your names won't be on them. If you make a list every day, I can try to get what you need, and every Saturday I can bring 5 library books.
I know what my 5 are going to be.
And there are 7 of us now.
I know, Mother.
It's illegal then. The ration books? We never done anything illegal.
I don't think we'll be living according to regulations.
Listen! The Western.
How am I ever going to get used to that clock?
I love it.
Neither I will be here to see you every day. I've also hidden a buzzer to signal when we come home. And tomorrow I'll have that coat case placed in the door. One last thing. I have a radio.
A radio? Fantastic.
A radio? Thank God.
Where did you get it? We had to turn ours in months ago.
Thank you, Mr. Fairley.
You'll tell them about the noise.
I'll tell them.
Thank you. Haven't we ever thank you?
I never thought I'd live to see the day a man like Mr. Frank here would have to go into hiding.
What a journey. Picture Nella walking down the street in her fur coat, carrying her hat last. It's a wonder we weren't arrested.
What do you need another hat for?
It's not another hat.
Oh.
I just don't feel at home without my chamber pot.
Now, everyone, a few things, quickly. You must get organized before the workmen get here. And, sit down, please. First, about the noise. When the workmen are in the building from 8 to 6, you must keep completely quiet, so no shoes, and move only when absolutely necessary. You can't run any water, you can't flush the toilet until you see. The pipes go down through the building and every sound can be heard.
Only one toilet? For all of us?
And no trash can ever be thrown out, not even a potato peel. We'll burn everything in the stove that night. You can't look out a window, you can't go outside, no coffee, and if possible, no feeding. You can never call a doctor. But after 6, we can talk, move around, joke, play games, just like we would at home. This will be our common area, the place where we meet to have supper like one family.
One family? I love that.
Now, why don't we get settled in? As Mr. Von Don and I discussed, this area will be the Frank home. That area over there will be the Von Don home. Peter, I know your space is tiny, but you'll be close to your parents. Actually, I'm glad you brought your cat. He warns us there could be rats.
Rats! Oh my God. I'm sure Mushy can take care of a few rats. Come, Petronella, to the edge. Our dishes and such go.
Never thank you, Mr. Frank. If you, I don't know what would have happened to us.
You can't imagine how your husband has helped me. When I first came to Amsterdam, not knowing the soul, unable to even speak the language, I could never repay him. Besides, he's been an excellent business partner.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, it's hot.
Wouldn't be so hot if you take off that breakfast door of yours.
You rest, Mom. You haven't closed your eyes since yesterday. Nor you, Margot.
I slept, Father. Isn't that funny? Even though I knew it was going to be the last night in my own bed.
You can sleep through anything. Now take your shoes off before you forget. You too, Peter. Shoes.
Are you sure you're not too tired, Annika?
I'm fine, Mother. Hey, what are you doing?
Getting rid of it.
You can't do that. They'll arrest you if you go out without your star.
Who's going out? Now you don't have to be branded.
I guess you're right. We don't need it. I remember when it all started, and people tried to look away, but their eyes always landed right there. Ugh, Mother sewed this on so tight.
The day they made us for this was the worst day of my life.
Look, it left a mark. Do you know Hanelli Gossler?
No.
Joe P.D. Wall.
Never heard of her.
But you heard of me.
Well, my father is your father's business partner.
You've heard of me. You've heard of me. I'm famous at my own school.
That's true in a way.
What do you mean?
Anne, you mustn't bother Peter.
I'm not bothering him. Mushy, mushy, mushy.
Mushy either. Tonight, we'll have our first real supper here together.
Thank you.
He's awfully shy.
You'll like him, I'm sure.
I bet he's the only boy I'm going to be seeing. My movie stars, Tim. You remember. I'm going to put them right. Wait. Where's my diary? I forgot to pack a pencil.
Anne, no! You can't go down those stairs, Anne.
But it was only for a...
Never. That is what going in there means. One mistake can cost us our lives.
I know, Father.
But every day, me from Mr. Fairley will come. They will bring us food, books, their precious company, their friends, and that's rare these days. If the Nazis found out they were hiding us, they'd be deported as well.
Your fountain pen.
You're a fountain pen now.
Oh, Pim, what a darling you are.
All those bags of beans and potatoes, is that what we're eating every night? Not much variety, is there?
Don't listen to her. What she can do with beans and potatoes, gosh, my life's a great cook. Even with beans and potatoes, you'll see. I'm gonna miss those gourmet meals.
Would you stop exaggerating?
The women see things, don't they?
You can never tell with women, but I'm sure we'll be fine.
Good. Mrs. Von Don, we'll meet here and start preparing supper at 6.
6 o'clock? Yes.
Come back, Janelle, away from the kitchen. The workmen will be here anyway.
Maybe it was a mistake. All of us going to hiding together. They say it's best for families to separate, just in case they're caught or betrayed. At least the children.
The children would have never understood that we had separated. They could have been born it, no more than we. Come.
Are you all right, Margot?
I'm still shaking. Feel my hands.
Don't worry, they can't take you away now. We're here.
Yes, we're here.
Und wir absolut einzutreten entschlossen sind, bis zum letzten Hauch. Dieses Deutschland, der deutsche Volksgemeinschaft aller deutschen Stämme, das Großdeutsche Reich, sieg heil! Sieg heil!
It's the silence that frightens me most. Every time I hear a creak in the house, a step on the street, I'm sure they're coming for us. I wander from room to room, feeling like a songbird whose wings have been ripped off and keeps hurling itself against the bars of its cage. Let me out, where there's fresh air and laughter. But I remember the Jews who are not in hiding, and I know we live in paradise. We're as quiet as baby mice. Who would have dreamed Quicksilver Ann would have to sit still for hours, and what's more
At last. What are you writing in that diary that's so funny? Nothing about me, I hope. Can't I take a peek?
No, Mrs. Von Don.
Not even a little peek?
Not even a little peek, Mrs. Von Don.
All right, fine. First to let you see.
Has anyone seen my shoes?
Shoes?
You took them.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're gonna be sorry.
Am I?
Definitely.
And
Wait a second.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Oh, you're strong. Didn't think I was so strong, did you? But you won't get them from me. Ooh, you're getting mad. You're getting really mad now.
And Peter, enough.
Peter, dance with me.
I don't know how.
I'll teach you.
I don't want any lessons.
Please.
I have to go give Mushi his supper.
Can I watch?
He doesn't like people around when he eats.
I'll be quiet. Quiet as a little mouse. He likes mice, doesn't he?
No.
And you cannot play with Peter like that. It's not dignified.
I don't want to be dignified.
You always want me to treat you as an adult, but when I do, you resent it.
Can't you girls just have some fun? What's wrong with that boy?
He's not used to girls yet, especially a girl like our own. Just give him time.
How much time does he need? Margot, you dance with me.
What? I had that with supper.
If we don't practice, we'll forget.
All right, all right.
See everyone? Margot's the real dancer in the family. Oh, him.
Ah, dancing. Where's Peter?
In his room.
His father will kill him if he catches him with that cat again. And would you be a dear and hug Peter Eyes with me, please?
Peter! Oh, Peter!
What is it?
Your mother says to come out.
You know what your father says.
Alright, but just give him supper and come right out.
Is that any way to talk to your little girlfriend?
Mother, please.
Look, he's blushing.
You're crazy. She's only 13.
So you're 16. Your father's older than I am. I tell you, Mr. Frank, we're here much longer in her life than to be related. I think I would run here.
Some run.
God, I hate them.
Good evening, everyone. I'd love to stay for dinner, but I'm so shy I can barely get a word out of my...
Alright! I've heard about you. How you talk so much in Mr. Keeson's class, he called you Miss Quack Quack. And made you write a composition. Quack, 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 said Miss Quack Quack.
Well, go on. Tell them the rest. Tell them how it was so good. He read it out loud to our class and all of his other classes.
I know about you. Always joking.
I don't always...
Always making fun of. Mocking people. Quack, quack, quack.
I don't always... You're the most infuriating boy I've ever met.
That's right, and you give it to him.
With all the boys in the world, I have to be locked up with...
Quack, quack, quack. From now on, stay out of my room.
And
Excellent in history and in Latin.
Ain't back yet?
The workman only left a little while ago.
What's for dinner?
Beans.
Again? I saw you in there playing with your cat.
He's only been in there for a moment. He's been out here all afternoon working on his French.
Really?
How did I do in algebra?
I think we both better give up on algebra.
How did I do?
How you always do. Brilliant.
We may have used a subjunctive here.
Where?
Mrs. Von Don, may I try on your coat?
And of course you may. My father bought me this stuff here before he died. He always bought the best money could buy.
Mrs. Von Don, did you have a lot of boyfriends before you were married?
And it is not courteous to ask personal questions.
Well, why not? I've had a throng of admirers who couldn't keep their eyes off from me.
Our house is always full with boys. I remember Who's talking to you? We had a big house in River Haven, and those boys came buzzing like bees around a honey pot. My father was very worried for all those boys buzzing around. He'd say, any of them gets fresh, you tell them. Remember, Mr. So-and-so, remember, I'm a lady.
Remember, Mr. So-and-so, remember I'm a lady.
Very good. All right, that's enough.
What do you have to write about that's so important all the time? What does a 13-year-old have to say?
Just because someone's young doesn't mean they don't have a lot to say, Mr. Rondon.
Can't I have any privacy?
Petronella, could you please tell me what would possibly be so private?
Oh, Pooty, you know how it is that age. Everything's private, even brushing your teeth.
Well, I just hope she's not writing anything about me in that private diary of hers.
Really, Pooty, don't be ridiculous. Sometimes you can be so childish.
You still haven't finished your French? You ought to be ashamed.
I know. I'm a hopeless case.
He is not hopeless. You are not hopeless. He just doesn't have anyone to help him like the girls do. Maybe Mr. Frank could?
I'm sure his father...
Oh, no, not me. He doesn't listen to me.
All right, well, what do you say, Peter?
Oh, Mr. Frank, you're an angel. I don't know why I didn't before I met that one over there.
Come on, Peter, tell me what you got for you now.
You listen to Mr. Frank now, Peter. Mr. Frank is a highly educated man.
Isn't things hard enough without you sprawling all over the place?
Maybe if you didn't smoke so much, Pooty, you wouldn't be so ill-tempered.
Am I smoking? Do you see me smoking?
Don't tell me you smoked up all those cigarettes already.
One pack. We've only got me one pack.
You're smoking up all our money.
Will you shut up? What are you staring at?
I've never heard grown-ups quarrel before. I thought they quarreled when they were little, and when they grew up, it wore off.
This isn't a quarrel. It's a discussion. I haven't seen a child so rude.
Rude? Me, I don't know how you can say that one.
And can you please bring me my wool, darling? I must ask me for some more.
Oh, I have a library book for her to return. And I need some hair with soap.
Me, bring me some starch, some Kia, some biscuits, a movie star magazine. Tell us the latest news. Meep. It's a wonder Meep has a life of her own. Did you know she's engaged to someone called Jan? She's crazy about him, but afraid the Nazis will take him up for the war plan. That's what they do with all the young Dutchmen these days. Take them up on the streets and...
Suppose you can be quiet for 5 minutes.
And, no, have it.
Talk, chatter. It's a wonder we haven't been discovered and shot. Why do you have to show off all the time? Why can't you be a good little girl like Margot?
Not me. I'm going to be remarkable. I'm going to Paris.
Really?
You'll see. I'm going to be a famous writer, or singer, or dancer someday.
Oh my God, my coat! My beautiful fur coat!
I'm sorry.
Look at it! You know my mother paid for this?
I'm very, very sorry.
I could kill you for this!
Petronella.
And you should not behave like this.
It was an accident. Anyone can have an accident.
I'm not talking about the coat, and we're all living under great stress. You don't see the Margot getting into arguments with the Vondons, do you?
Margot never gets into arguments with anyone. Margot's perfect.
I'm not perfect. She's courteous, and she keeps her distance, and they respect her for that. Please be more like Margot.
And have them walk all over me too? No, thank you.
They don't walk all over me.
Oh yes they do. All over you.
I'm not afraid they're going to walk all over you. I'm afraid you're going to walk all over them. I don't know what happened to you. If I ever speak to my mother the way
Yes,
you...
Mother. No, Mother. Anything you say, Mother. People just aren't like that anymore. I can't do everything for you.
Margot doesn't do
Margot. That's all I ever hear.
And don't be so dramatic.
Everything she does is right. Everything I do is wrong. If I talk, I'm rude. If I eat too much, I'm selfish, stupid, cowardly, a complete disappointment. I'll never live up to your expectations. I'll never be Margot.
I don't know how long we can live on like this.
You know, Anne, in 2 minutes, she'll be laughing and joking again.
No room. No privacy for any of us. Ugh, those people, the way they behave. And of course, your father likes to shut his eyes on everything. I don't know how life used to be anymore. Me!
Does everybody have their legs?
I have
sun begins to shine.
Won't you guys stay for supper?
No thanks. There's something we need to decide over. Something that needs to be decided immediately.
What is it, Mr. Prelix?
Well, each time we come, we try to bring a bit of good news. But up here, you just don't know what the good news comes.
There's Dennis. I'll try to do so. He's Jewish and he's been living with a Christian woman, but today he asked if I made a mistake, but I promise I'll let him know.
Absolutely. Of course. Good, so I believe we know him.
It's great news, Meek.
It's just there's so little food.
My apologies. I spoke about consulting you.
Mr. Bondman, I've tried. There's no more ration books to be had.
We're 17, 18 now.
I hope so.
If we can save even one life, we must.
That's true.
Yes, definitely.
Tomorrow.
Thank you.
Well, it's fine to have him and all. Where are we going to put him?
In my room, I'll sleep on the floor.
You're much too kind, Peter, but there's hardly enough room in there for you.
I know. He can sleep in my bed, and I can move in with you and Mother.
No. Margot will move in with us. Mr. Juice can have her bed. That's the only way.
Well, why can't I move in with my father and he can have my bed?
Because it won't be proper for Margot. And don't argue. It's settled.
As far as I'm concerned, Mother can go jump in a lake. I don't know why I've taken such a terrible dislike to her, but I can imagine her dying someday. Well, Papa's death seems inconceivable to me. It's very mean of me, I know, but that's how I feel. I hope Mother will never read this or anything else I've read. She's not a mother to me. I have to mother myself. Who can I turn to? Only my diary. I have to become a good person on my own, but I know it will make me stronger in the end. 3.5 months in the annex, and we're eagerly awaiting our latest edition. What will he be like? Eustace is quiet, refined, and, by all accounts, an excellent dentist. He's meeting Mr. Praler at a certain place in front of the post office. It's all very exciting and totally nerve-wracking. What if they get caught? Those last hours are the most dangerous for a Jew who goes into hiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's done.
Everything went smoothly. Mr. Dussel was at the appointed place at the appointed time. He had to wear Jan's jacket over his yellow star so no one would see it. He was amazed to be brought into the center of Amsterdam rather than into the country where so many hiding places are. Of course, he had no idea we were right upstairs waiting for him.
Dreaming. Frank, Frank, I thought you were in Switzerland. A patient of mine told me you escaped to Belgium, or someplace.
That's what they think. That's what everybody thinks. But not including we hope.
We tricked them.
I'm glad to have you, Mr. Dussel. We all are.
How can I thank you?
Gotta meet with Mr. Taylor.
Without them, we couldn't have lived.
Aren't you scared, Meek? Sometimes?
We're not heroes.
You're much too modest, Lee.
We just don't like the Nazis. Anything about them.
Come, Mr. Dussel, have a seat. You must be warm.
Let's have a toast to Mr. Doodle.
Cognac. We were saving it in case of illness, but
What better way to use it? To Mr. Dussel, we are honored to have you with us. Prost! Prost! Mr. Dussel, I believe we know somebody in common. Dr. Kinsler. We were friends back in the old days in France. What is it?
Dr. Kinsler was taking last month. He told me to shut up. Hold on.
what's going on out there, Mr. Dussel?
Please tell us.
All over Amsterdam, Jews are disappearing, thrown out of bed in the middle of the night. My God, they're screaming. Children come home from school, their parents are gone. Women come home from shopping, whole family, vanished. It's impossible to escape unless you go into hiding. Thousands are being taken away, deported, slumberers, pressed on stuff.
Oh, God, no.
You have 5 minutes to fit whatever you can in your rucksack. Turn it into the Jewish theater for days, sometimes weeks. Then there, westward, transit camp, like clockwork for the east.
Mr. Dussel, do you know the Gosslers? Their daughter Hanelli and I, we've been friends since we were 4. They didn't come back for them, did they? Not Hanelli, no!
There's a family by the name of...
No!
I'm sure Mr. Drewser would like to get some rest before supper. I trust you won't mind sharing a room with my daughter.
Forgive me for upsetting you.
No, you have to know. You have to tell us.
Anne, would you please show Mr. Drewser to your room?
Thank you for everything.
All he said, so terrible, so different from what he told us.
I like it, no matter how you tell it.
Well, here we are.
Isn't very big, is it?
I've never shared a room with a man before. I hope I'll be a suitable roommate for you. I know you'll miss the woman you lived with terribly.
Charlotte and I have never been apart. It all happened so fast. I didn't know myself.
Neither did we. None of our friends knew. It was too dangerous for them and for Charlotte.
You're a very bright young lady. Hope you'll bear with me.
I hope you'll bear with me. I seem to annoy everyone here. What's she like? Or Charlotte?
Charming, beautiful. You're like her. She's not Jewish, you know.
Oh, I know. He told us. That's my bed where I'll sleep, and that's Margot's where you'll sleep. I know it's small and dark in here, but if you look out the blackout curtain, you'll see the most beautiful chestnut tree in the world. I can't wait till it's at bloom, although I hope this will all be over and we'll all be home by then. I was wondering about the room. I used to have it in the mornings, and Margot used to have it in the afternoon. Would that be all right with you?
Actually, I'm not at my best in the mornings.
Then you can have it in the mornings, and I can have it in the afternoon. Did you bring your dental equipment? I love those little mirrors they use. Are you going to fill all of our cavities?
It's not easy being a dentist, you know. Children don't understand that.
What do you mean?
Everyone likes going to the dentist. Everyone makes fun of the dentist, but believe me, it's no fun for us. Everyone hates us.
That's awful.
Tell me something. When you're in here, where do I go? There, don't go to people.
And Mooshie.
Mooshie? Who's Mooshie?
That's Peter's cat.
Cat? No one mentions cat to me.
He's the sweetest cat in the world. You love him.
I hate cats. They're terrifying. They give me asthma.
Don't worry. Peter keeps him in his room all the time.
Let's hope so. By the way, should I report the schedule?
It's mainly about when we have to be quiet and when we can use the WC. You can use it now.
No, thank you.
You don't know how important the WC can be when you're in hiding, especially when you're scared.
I understand. If you don't mind, I'd like to get some rest before supper. Helps with that digestion.
You rest, Mr. Goozle. I'll try and make you feel at home.
November 12th. Yesterday, German forces entered unoccupied France. Acting quickly to counter sweeping Allied gains, Hitler sent armored columns to Vichy, France. The Vichy regime came to an end, and with it, the final pretense that part of France was a free zone.
I couldn't sleep tonight, even after Father tucked me in. I feel wicked sleeping in a warm bed when my friends are at the mercy of the cruelest monsters ever to walk the earth. And all because they're Jews. We assume most of them are murdered. The BBC says they're being gassed. Perhaps that's the quickest way to die. No matter what I'm doing, I can't stop thinking about those who are gone. All we can do is wait for the war to end. The whole world is waiting, and many are waiting for death.
I tell you, list for Tuesday's train. 1,000 will leave westward tomorrow for labor service in the east. No exemptions.
No! I won't get on the train! Help! I won't go! No! I won't get on the train! Help! I won't go! No! I won't get on the train! Help me! I won't go! No! I won't get on the train! Help! I won't go! I won't get on the train! Help! I won't go! Help me! I won't go! No! I won't get on the train! I won't go! Help! I won't get on the train! No! 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 I won't get on the train! Help! Help! I won't get on the train! No! No! I won't go! Help me!
Anne, you're good, you're okay, you're here.
These nightmares, Mrs. Frank, they don't sleep anymore. I spent half my night shushing her.
Anne, little Anne.
These nightmares, Mrs. Frank, these nightmares are gonna get us all caught.
Please, Mr. Doozle. She'll be fine in a minute. Go back to bed.
What happens?
Another nightmare.
Sounded like someone was murdering her.
It was a nightmare, wasn't it? Would you like some more? water? You can talk about it
No,
sometimes.
thank you.
I see. What do you think? You try to let sleep
No.
now.
I'd rather you didn't stay.
I see. You want Anne?
Mother, would you please get Father?
Edith.
She needs you, Otto. She's still trembling. It's okay. It'll work.
It's a phase.
You were never like this.
I'm not like you. It's not that she doesn't love you.
Oh, him, it was terrible. I dreamt he broke through the bookcase, took us all the way. The train going to the east. Did I yell terribly loud? Do you think anyone heard me? I know what you're thinking, but I can't help the way I feel. I just don't love her.
Anne.
We don't get along. We never have, and now I hate being cooped up with her. My nightmares, Tim. I can't stop them from coming, but everyone hates me for having them.
We're all having nightmares, Anne. Only you let them show. Your mother, she's having terrible nightmares. We're all having a really hard time here.
I know, Tim. I have another side, a better, finer side, but it's as if I'm split in half. What's good? What's bad, Tim? I don't know. I want to become a better person, but not for me hiding how I feel.
I understand. We've always understood each other, you and I. You know, Annika, you showed me something the day we came here.
I did?
Do you remember when we first arrived? Your mother and Margot were numb. Couldn't speak, couldn't move. I was a wreck with worry, but you pranced around the room calling it an adventure. You showed me you could escape. And now, whenever I read my Dickens, it takes me to another world. In that world, I feel safe. You have something too, you know. Your diary. You're lucky.
Lucky?
You can write. You can put all your thoughts, all your feelings down on paper.
How's it shaking?
Sorry,
Give peace, blessing, kindness, life, or favor, charity, and mercy upon us all in the house of Israel.
The first thing we wanted to do when we were liberated. I'd be so thrilled, I wouldn't know where to begin. I long to be back in school with my friends, ride a bike, whistle, laugh so hard it hurts. I wonder if anyone will ever not think about whether I'm Jewish. Just a young girl, badly in need of some good plain fun. Margot said,
I want to go dancing. Learn the latest step and play all over the room in new dancing shoes.
A Western. I'd love to go to the movies.
A cup of coffee with those creams and sugars. No, I want a whole pot full.
A bath, a hot bath, and a bathtub, lying there luxuriating for hours, and then Woody comes in and soaks their back.
and Pootie said,
Cream cakes. First place out of here, I'm going to Burkhart for cream cakes.
Charlotte, Casino, they'll listen to her for hours.
You know what I want? To pack a picnic for my friends and take them to the seashore for the whole day.
What a beautiful Bernard, Mrs. Don.
Praised are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, which makes us holy with mitzvah, and instructs us to kindle the lights of Chanukah. Amen.
Amen.
That was very moving.
there's still more, this song, it's presents.
Not this year.
And a lot either.
Don't remind me.
I make the best latkes you ever tasted.
I can't bear it.
Invite us all next year.
What's in the bag, darling?
Presents for Margot. Go ahead, read out loud.
You never lose your temper, you never will I fear. You're just so good, but if you should, for all your crossword here.
A new crossword puzzle book!
It's not new, it's yours. I rubbed out all the pencil, but if you wait a while, you'll forget and you can do it all over again.
Oh, Anne, it's wonderful!
For Mrs. Von Don.
How beautiful! What is it?
It's shampoo. I mixed it with bits of soap and the last of my toilet water.
How sweet! Thank you, Anne.
This was all Anne's idea.
For Mr. Von Don, this is something you want, something you want more than anything in the world.
What is it? I can't wait. A cigarette!
Here comes an old pipe tobacco in the lining of his coat, and we made it. Well, he made it, but I promise it's real.
We'll see. Thanks, Ann. I truly mean it.
Poor mother.
Here's an IOU. I promise to pay 10 hours of doing whatever you say.
Boy, I wish I had that little slip of paper. 10 hours? I wouldn't consider selling it, will you, Mrs. Frank?
Never. It's the best present I've ever gotten.
Poor kid.
And I'm not supposed to get anything. Oh.
I made it out of bits of wool I found. No one helped me, not even Mother, not even Margot. I made it after I got into bed last night.
And after keeping up half the night writing that diary of hers. I'm just kidding.
I'm afraid it looks better in the dark.
It looks perfect to me, Ann. Thank you. I'm going to treasure it.
For Mushy.
Oh, Aunt, you remember from your family slipper.
Lucy, thank you. It's very sweet of you.
From Miss Quack Quack.
You're sure not concerned to jump out and bite me.
What is it?
It's a razor. He got it for me, but it looks like he could really use it now.
What for?
Look, there's a little something growing on his upper lip.
Oh, no, kind of. Can't look it off.
Well, I like it. Thank you.
And that last but never least, my roommate, Mr. Doozle.
You got something for me, Ann? Capsules. 2 capsules, not poisonous.
They're earplugs, so you won't hear me thrashing around at night. I made them out of bits of candle wax I found. Go ahead, try them. Ready?
What?
Are you ready?
Good God, they've gone inside my head. Help, help. I'm just kidding, Ann. Thank you.
Oh, my present. How did she do it?
Wasn't it just darling of her?
A real high gun in the end.
There's still one more present.
What is it?
One. Just one.
Who for? Show us.
For your mother. For tonight.
Otto, how did you...
I grabbed it just before we left. I was hoping we wouldn't be here so long, but I saved it just in case we were.
This takes me back to my great-great-grandmother. Your father's an angel for saving it.
Why didn't you save anything mine?
I saved you, didn't I?
Listen.
Look, Mushy loves his presents.
Peter, what's the matter with you?
Get that cat out of here.
Cat? What cat?
Doesn't have to be his cat. His clothes are enough.
Don't worry, I'm getting rid of it.
Finally listen to me.
Not because of you, Doozle, because I'm sick of those damn fleas. Out he goes.
You can't do that.
That's Peter's cat. Peter loves that cat.
He goes, I go.
Go! Go!
He's not going and the cat's not going. Put the towel down. Mr. Doozle, sit down. It's Hanukkah, a time for celebration. Girls, sing the song.
My refuge, my rock of salvation.
God almighty, do you hear anything?
I think they're gone.
The Gestapo?
If it was a Gestapo, they'd be up here by now.
We gotta do something.
There's nothing to do.
I'm going down.
Papa, no! You still need to hurry! No! Maybe we can buy them off. Where's our money, please?
Keep still.
And wait for them to take us away. Do something!
Keep still.
Someone get Papa.
Be quiet.
I'll go.
Sit down.
Please, please go.
Oh, you guys, be quiet.
It was a thief.
How do you know?
They took the cash box. And I told Grandpa I was wide open. Okay, the danger's past. We're safe now.
Baby, now we're in even greater danger now.
Mr. Dussel, please.
Now someone knows we're up here.
Why are you pointing at him? It could have been any of us.
You mean to tell me a thief is going to go to the police and say, I was robbing this place overnight and I heard this noise above my head? You think a thief is going to say that?
Yes, I do.
Well, you're crazy.
I think someday they'll get caught and they'll make bargain with the police. They let them off, they'll tell them where some Jews are hiding. Maybe they'll even warn them. 7.5 a Jew.
Please, Papa, we can't stay here anymore. Let's go. Let's just go.
Go?
Go where?
Into the street?
Nobody's going anywhere. Look, we can't panic, okay? If we panic, then we're lost. We survived here for 6 months together. We're going out. Girls, the song, please.
My refuge, my rock of salvation, it is pleasant to sing your praises. Let our house of air be restored, and let us offer the thanks.
Sometimes I see myself alone in a dungeon, without mother, without father. We're roaming the streets, the next sunfair, or they break through the bookcase together. And I know it could all happen anytime soon. I see the 8 of us in the annex as a patch of blue sky, threatened by menacing black clouds. We're surrounded by darkness and danger, and in our desperate attempt to find a way out, we keep on bumping into each other. We look at the fighting below, and the peace and beauty above, but we're blocked by the dark mess of clouds that stands before us. It looms before us, an impenetrable wall. We can neither go up nor down. I can only cry out and implore. Open wide! Let us out! Paler and a lot hungrier. We've been plagued by medical problems, and although we can't call a doctor, our favorite dentist is never too far away.
We're almost done this one. I'll keep going on a little longer.
How can I? You're killing me.
Stop complaining. Perhaps I can finish soon.
All right, I'll try.
Mrs. Van, please, I got my instrument stuck in your tooth.
Ow, my foot, get out!
Stop moving.
There, look, I got it.
I'm lucky. I've been healthy. In fact, I've been growing. So much I can't fit into my shoes anymore. Not to speak of anything else. And there's another change. Something happening inside me. Each time I get my period, and it's only been 3 times, I have the feeling that despite the pain, I have a sweet secret, and I long for the time I'll feel that secret again. Every time I see a female nude, such as a Venus in my art history book, I go into ecstasy. Sometimes I have to struggle to hold back my tears. And there's something else. Peter, when he looks at me with those eyes.
Happy New Year, me. Happy New Year. You should really have this day to yourself, but we're glad you came.
Me, you smell like the wind.
Ian, how are you?
Hey, I wonder if you're going to take this letter. Charlotte, for the new year.
Of course.
Me too, eh?
Feeling any better, Margot?
Oh, I know.
Maybe this will make you feel better, yeah.
Honey, look, the cake, the cake.
Cake, I'll grab the plates.
Is it your special spice cake?
Spice cake, exactly. Your favorite.
Everyone's favorite.
Here's my plate, John. Now, how many of us are there?
Good for me, thank you.
Oh, but you lost.
That leaves 7.
8, same number it always is.
Well, I took it for granted that Margot will not be having any.
Well, why not?
I don't think a piece of spice cake will harm her.
I didn't want her to stop coughing. 8, all right, 8.
And this is Frank's cupcake. Mrs. Frank devised things better.
What are you saying? Don't I always give everyone exactly the same?
Yes, everyone always gets exactly the same. Except Mr. Bonner. He always gets a little bit more.
Now just a minute!
Please. You see how little spice cake goes to our heads?
Here, Miss Frank, you cut it.
It looks delicious.
Oh, that smell. Are you sure you won't have a piece of meat? No thanks. I have to leave in a minute.
Me, Jen is lucky to have a woman who can bake like this.
Jan, tell us about Jan.
Jan's taking me to a party tonight.
Remember every little detail, so you can tell us about it tomorrow.
Everyone you dance with. Jan. Only Jan. Oh, I seem to have found something for someone.
Me?
What is it? I can't stand this suspense.
Oh, me. Where did you find those?
And look,
grown up, ready for Hollywood.
You ain't gonna buy slippers on the black market these days.
Interesting this, and don't worry, I'll give you all a full report tomorrow.
Maybe there's something I'd like you to do for me.
What? What is it?
You know.
What is it?
He wants to sell it for the coat.
No, Woody, don't do this to me. This is my coat. I've had this coat for 17 years. My father gave me this coat. You have no right. Don't you dare let go!
I have to. We've been running out of money for months now. We have no money. And there's people out there in desperate need of warm clothing.
Let go of it, please!
I have to sell it.
Oh, me. I always thought New Year's something to look forward to.
You want to think about hope?
There's no hope to be had. I knew it when big Hitler came to power. That voice came screeching over the radio. Now in London, what's the Dutch Queen doing? What are they all doing? You're not even mentioning the word Jew. The trains are still moving. Why don't they bomb the tracks? I can't talk like this with the other two. I understand. They're counting the days, making plans until the war's over. But frankly, I don't see the war ever coming to an end. Someday, I just want to give myself up.
Let's try to take things a little easier. They need you. Children need you.
I'm ashamed to feel this way, I know. I know you and Mr. Cradle have just as hard as we do.
No, we don't, Mrs. Gray.
Pences, Mr. Buzel, from Penser, to paint. Sequiu valves nafatis pas becut.
What?
Sequiu valves nafatis pas.
You're going too fast.
Oigi sas.
Jesus, I know that one.
Ban continuans la pas servente servos plat.
I just don't understand. I would never done anything like that to you.
Those skins were 17 years old, for God's sake. They had definitely seen their days.
That's not the point. You know it.
I know we needed money. We have no money. Can you get that through your head?
Don't talk to her like that.
You never understood anything.
Oh, here we go again.
That coat was the last thing. The whole world's gone.
You still have us, haven't you?
You took the last memory of my father away.
Do we have to hear about your father? If it wasn't for your father, that apartment, and all our goddamn possessions, we'd be in America by now.
It's not her fault.
Oh, please, it was you too. You know, you didn't want to.
I knew which way the wind was blowing.
Oh, sure, you always knew everything.
Mother, please stop.
Your mother will never listen.
If I could just say one thing.
No, you may not. You speak too much as it is. It's none of your business anyway.
You shouldn't have said that, Mother.
What?
You hurt her feelings.
Oh, well, I apologize, all right? I apologize to everyone.
You left this.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for what happened there. They make me feel so... I just can't stand it when they... Sometimes I wish I didn't belong with them at all. I just hope I never turn out like them.
You won't. I know it.
Like him. What if I turn out like him?
You won't. Believe me.
All I can say is, if it wasn't for you, you're always going to be helpful.
I am? How?
When you're cheerful, it keeps me from being depressed.
I'm not always so cheerful, you know, inside.
Really?
Once you go and cry, there's nowhere you can go and do it.
It's easier for me, I guess. Or if I with my parents, I can just tuck into my room.
You're lucky you have a room of your own.
Well, listen, you can talk to your parents.
Not really. I can't talk to Mother about anything. She just doesn't understand. I can talk to Father about everything, except Mother. I don't think you can really be intimate with someone that hides something from you. Do you?
I think your father's tripping.
He likes you too.
You think so?
I can tell by the little things that he says. It's funny, isn't it?
What?
We've been here for almost a year and a half now, and this is the first time we've really talked.
I know what you mean.
You know what, Peter?
What?
I've never really had a friend, someone I could truly confide in.
Me either. Smile for me.
Why?
You have dimples when you smile.
Dimples. Only mark of beauty I possess.
That's not true. You're pretty.
Me?
Yeah, you.
The sun is shining. The sky is deep blue. There's a magnificent breeze, and I'm longing, so longing for everything. I walk from room to room, breathe through the crack in the window frame, feel my heart beating as if to say, can't you fulfill this longing at last? I long for every boy. If it's either I want to shout, say something. Don't just smile at me all the time. Touch me so I can get that delicious feeling inside. I feel spring within me. I feel spring awakening. I can feel it in my entire body and soul. Don't know what to read, to write, to do. I only know I am longing.
What's for dinner?
Don't ask.
I have to be prepared.
Oh my God, I can't eat this thing. Pickles, kale, round potatoes, or wheat now.
Do you have a problem, Mr. Dussel? How about you try cooking for a change instead of insulting my wife?
I think you prepared the kale very well, Mrs. Van Daan. I don't know how you do it.
Mr. Frank, always the soul of politeness.
Every night, another miracle.
Mr. Dussel, how about not clogging the pipes up like last week?
Pudding, please.
Margot, you're not eating? Please, you have to eat.
I'm not hungry.
Come, Margaret, just take a bite.
If she won't eat it, Peter will.
I can't. I just can't. You eat like a bird. Every day a smaller bird. Margot, I'm doing the best I can.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Van Daan. I just...
And eating. Peter's eating.
And how do you do it?
I don't look at it, pretend it's delicious, and before I know it, it's gone.
Very wise, Annika.
I ate because I'm hungry.
You have to force yourself, Margot. You're too thin.
She's not the only one. We're all a little family.
Will this war ever be over?
This war would be over a lot sooner if the British would start the invasion.
Not tonight.
The British are fighting for their lives. They'll do, Mr. Van Daan, they'll do something when the time is right.
When we're dead and buried, you mean?
You saying the British are so strong, they're going to win the war?
The Germans might win the war if the British don't get moving.
They just dropped 3,000 tons of bombs on Hamburg last Sunday. Is that enough for you?
No!
How many bombs do you need?
Enough so we don't have to worry about going to Poland.
Mr. Dussel! Please
I think I like spending my life in there.
Sorry to come at this hour, but something's happening.
What is it?
I must ask you all to be more careful, more quiet.
What's happening, Mr. Taylor?
The man in the storeroom. A few days ago, he asked me what did I hear from Mr. Frank. I told him I heard a rumor that you were in Switzerland. He said he heard that too, but I thought I might know something more. Then, today, when I was signing some invoices, I looked up and I saw him staring at the bookcase.
Oh my God.
Well, he said he thought he remembered that we were there. Then he wanted more money, 10 more guilders a month.
Blackmail.
Only 10 guilders? Very modest blackmail.
It's just the beginning.
What did you tell him?
I said I had to think about it. What should I do? Should I pay him the money, take a chance on fire?
For God's sake, pay him the money.
Wait, offer him half. We'll see if it's blackmail or not.
Listen, maybe he knows nothing, but it's more dangerous out there every day. No one can be trusted. You all must be quiet. Quiet! I'll offer him half then.
Thank you, Mr. Kraler.
We'll hope for the best.
Please, Mother. I can't bear it, seeing you this way.
I'll wear it on the Google subject.
But I'd rather stay here, with you.
A message from Dutch Minister of Education, Mr. Gerrit Bolkenstein.
History cannot be written on the basis of official documents alone. If our descendants are to understand what we as a nation have endured during these years, we need simple, everyday pieces. A diary, letters from forced labor in Germany.
I can't believe it. Did he really say a diary? I'll start revising it tomorrow. Maybe one day I could even publish a novel. The Secret Index, based on my diary. Unless you write yourself, you can't know how wonderful it is. When I write, I shake off all of my tears, but I want to achieve more than that. I want to be useful and bring enjoyment to all people, even those I've never met. I want to go on living even after my death.
Mr. Deuce is awfully impatient out there.
Let him. I'm always waiting for him.
Are you going to have to be at it with Peter again? You've already spent so much time up there today.
I've been up there exactly twice. Once to practice French together and once to get the potatoes for supper.
But you know Mrs. Von Don. She has a comment for every little thing.
She can't help it. It's in her nature. But I don't think it's Mrs. Von Don that's upsetting you.
I'm not upset.
You're not jealous of Peter and me? I'd be insanely jealous if it were you instead of me.
Yes, I imagine he would be. But I'm not.
Aren't you, Margot? Tell me the truth.
Who wouldn't want someone to visit every night, have deep, serious conversations with, and who knows what else? Yes, I'm jealous, but not of you and Peter. I'd just like someone of my own. I'm happy you had someone.
You mean it?
I want you to have a good time tonight, every night. You've already missed out on so much here.
Oh, Margot, you're such a generous person, but there's nothing to be jealous of. We don't really do anything. He hasn't even kissed me.
The kisses will come.
I'm not sure I wanted to.
Oh, you do. I know you. You can't help yourself. It's in your nature. Wait, let me fix your hair. There, now you're ready.
I presume I may finally get back to my room.
Our room, dear Mr. Doozle, and yes, you may return.
Thank you so much.
And again, and look at her. And it's awfully cold up there. You better bundle up.
In my day, it was boys who called on the girls.
Young people today like to feel they have secrets. The attic's the only place they can talk.
Talk. That's not what they called it in my day.
I think there's a little romance forming in our little nest.
If we're here much longer, we may have one little annex wedding.
Frankly, I'm sick of this chatter. Another minute. And be done by 9.
They're so old-fashioned. I guess they don't realize how much more advanced we are.
You look nice.
Really?
I like the shoes. I've always liked the shoes.
Meep always says everything just right.
She likes you a lot.
I love her, but I hate having to ask her for absolutely everything. Doesn't it make you miserable to be so dependent on people?
I'm not miserable anymore. I mean, even bumping into you on the stairs sometimes I feel
the same.
you changed. I used to think you were a real pain in the neck.
My life before seemed so unreal. Nothing to do with who I am now. The girl I was before seemed so superficial. I wouldn't go back to being her for the world.
You sure know a lot about yourself, don't you? I guess it comes from all that writing you did.
If I didn't write what I think, how I feel, I'd suffocate. I want to be a real writer one day. I know I can write. I'm my harshest critic. I just don't know if I have the talent or not. What do you want to do?
I don't know. Some job that doesn't take much brains. But maybe if I had your drive.
That's ridiculous.
No, it's true. I'm a complete idiot.
You're too hard on yourself.
I didn't have much going for me anyhow.
So don't you miss? Oh, Peter, I miss so many things. Sometimes I dream I'm back in my old apartment and I wake up and wonder, why can't I run outside? Oh, you can't see the moon from here. How beautiful. Look at our attic, the moonlight shining in.
Are you cold?
No, well, maybe just a little.
Here.
Peter, have you ever kissed a girl?
I guess so.
You have, what?
Wasn't a big deal or anything.
Tell me.
At my birthday party. Blindfolded. I don't even know who the girl was.
Well, you know there's nothing wrong with being kissed or anything. Although Margot never kissed a man unless you were engaged to him. And Mother never touched a man before she met him. My girlfriends would say, Anne, how shocking. But everything's different now. Here.
You call it ours, or do you really think it's ours?
I do.
You won't let them stop you from coming here, will you?
No, I promise. Maybe I'll bring one of my stories and read it to you next time.
You'll come tomorrow night?
If you want me to.
I do.
It's 9:05.
I will then.
July 1st. The province of Utrecht will be cleansed of Jews between April 1st and May 1st. The provinces of North and South Holland, including Amsterdam, immediately thereafter. A faster pace evacuating the Jews will begin as we move them by train not once but twice a week, transporting 12,000 Jews a month. This is dirty work, but a mission of great historical purpose. When not a single Jew remains in the Netherlands, people will again walk freely in the streets.
Otto, listen, all that.
Ida, go back to sleep.
I don't believe it. He's stealing our bread.
No, quiet, quiet.
Herman, for God's sake, what are you doing?
What is it? What's going on?
Your husband's stealing our bread.
There can't be. What are you doing?
No, never before, never before.
No, if he steals once, he'll steal again. Each day, I watch these children get thinner and thinner. That bread should belong to them.
Mama, it's only a piece of bread.
He couldn't help himself. It could have happened to any one of us. It won't happen again.
I don't believe it. I want them to go.
Go where?
Anywhere.
You don't mean what you say.
Oh, I do.
Edith, you know how upset you've been in the past couple.
That has nothing to do with it.
You put us out on the street?
Me will find you a place. If it's the money, trust me, I'll find you the money.
Mr. Frank, you said you'd never forget what my husband did for you.
My husband has any obligation to you, it's paid for.
For God's sake, Edith, I've never seen you like this before.
You can't throw Peter on the street. He hasn't done anything.
It would be impossible for
Peter can stay.
I wouldn't feel right without my parents.
Please, Mother, they'll be killed on the street.
Ann's right.
Fine. They can stay until we find some place. But we're switching rooms. I want him near our house.
Let's light it up right now.
We're not going to fight up some raw potatoes.
Dan, Margot,
Please, mister, please don't, please. Please stop, please.
Miss,
Please. I can't take it anymore.
so,
You see what's happening now?
No! Margot, Mr. Dussel, everyone, get back to your rooms. Come, Edith. Mr. Dussel, I think the potatoes can wait.
Mr.
I said let them wait! Me? At this hour?
Everyone, I have the most wonderful, most incredible news.
What is it?
The invasion has begun. Did you hear me? The invasion. It's happening right now. You can feel it in the streets, the excitement. I ran to tell you before the workmen got here. This is it. They landed on the coast of Norway.
Was it the British?
British, Americans, everyone. More than 4,000 ships. Look, I brought a map. Cherbourg, the first city. They're fighting for it now.
For over a year we prayed for this moment.
How many days will it take them to reach from Normandy to the Netherlands?
Edith, what did I tell you?
Cherbourg, Pain, Jujamcyn, Paris, and then Amsterdam.
Hoodie?
Herman, don't you hear? We're going to be free. Soon.
People of Western Europe, the landing was made this morning on the coast of France by troops of the Allied Expeditionary Force. This landing is part of the concerted United Nations plan for the liberation of Europe, made in conjunction with our great Russian allies. I have this message for all of you. Although the initial assault may not have been made in your own country, the hour of your liberation is approaching.
Home, Margot. Did you hear? We could be going home.
I can't get home and feel like anymore. We've been away for so long.
Oh, I can imagine every little detail. To walk along the sidewalk, to sun, to walk along the canal, to everything.
I'm afraid to let myself think about it. It doesn't seem possible. To have a real meal. Will anything taste the same? Look the same? I don't know if anything will
Palestine. Maybe you can go back to school in October, September even. Wouldn't that be something, Annika?
Honey, you know what I was just thinking about? You won't believe it, but I was thinking about the day we first met. You were buzzing around with the rest of the boys in Broadway. I picked you out right away, you know. You really made me laugh. And laugh. That afternoon you took me out on the ferry. First you made me laugh, and then you started to kiss me. And kiss me. And the kisses were even better than the laughter. Remember? You gave me so many, the ferryman kept watching. And then the ferry went off course. And then you made me laugh even more. When we got back, you made that little restaurant open its doors, and you ordered almost everything on the menu. To man's relief, the waiter kept saying. We'll go back on that ferry one day, Cody, I promise. Soon we'll be home and I'll be cooking all your old favorites. Sauerbraten with red cabbage, latkes with your cheddar applesauce, and then we'll go to Roadhouse for cream cake. In the meantime, if you're hungry, hold on to me, please. Oh, please, just hold on to me.
Dressed in rags, her face thin and worn. She looked at me with such sadness in her eyes, I could read the message in them. Oh, Anne, why have you deserted me? Help me, rescue me from this hell. If only I could. Why have I been chosen to live, and you to die? Oh, Hanelli, if you ever return, I'll take you in, share everything I have with you. Are you still alive? I keep seeing your enormous eyes, keep seeing myself in your place. You're a reminder of what my fate might have been. What will we do for... No, I mustn't write that. But the question won't go away. It looms before me in total absolute horror.
Yes, but BBC Radio Europe. Till tomorrow, listeners and all we know, no matter how hard the times and how heavy the separation, we are once more a day closer to the liberation.
Brothers, there's nothing I love more.
I can't understand you. Your mouth is too full.
I wanted to talk. You had something to eat since we came up here.
You're the one who's eating. Look at you. You're all red.
Look at you, they're all over your shirt.
That was a lot better than those string beans yesterday.
Green, green, green. I thought they'd never end.
Every green I pulled made me sure I never wanted to be a housewife.
You never will be.
These berries are so good. I forgot how wonderful they were.
Of course you forgot. We haven't seen a berry in 2 years.
Don't eat too many, Cody. Remember how sick you got from last night's KO?
I'm just worried they won't be enough to make jam with those three up in the attic.
Mr. Dussel, you're such a worrier. Just let the children enjoy themselves. God, these are good.
I'll tell you a secret. Every night I think to myself, our liberators, they're coming for us.
I bet you won't forget about me once you're back with all your old friends.
What's the friend with on, Peter?
We won't ever forget about you.
Ever.
I'll tell you one thing. Once we get out of here, I'm making sure no one knows I'm a Jew.
What?
Serious. What if the Christian would be a whole lot easier?
You'd be cathouse.
I don't know. Maybe.
I never turn away from who I am. Don't you know you'll always be Jewish in your soul?
Ross! No! Never seen anything so talking before.
It's a wonder I haven't abandoned all my ideas. They seem so absurd and impractical. Yet I cling to them because I still believe, in spite of everything, people are truly good at heart. It's utterly impossible to build my life on a foundation of fear. I see the world transformed into a wilderness. I hear the approaching thunder which will destroy us too. I feel the suffering of millions.
Wooden towers were our daily standard, walls covered with thousands of flies. The 8 of us crammed into Barrack 67, betrayed. We never know by whom. Our last month together, our last month. Anne and Peter walking hand in hand between the barracks and barbed wire. Edith worrying about the children, washing underclothing in murky water. No, Margot, Sam, staring at nothing. Our last days on Cook's Square. Late August, Paris free, Brussels, Antwerp. But for us it is too late. Tuesday, September 3rd, 1944. 1,000 of us herded into cattle cars, the last transport to leave westward for the extermination camps. The train, 3 days, 3 nights. In the middle of the 3rd night, Auschwitz. Separation. Men from women. Edith, Margot, Anne, my family. Never again. Selection. Half our transport killed in the gas chambers. One day, Peter and I see a group of men watch away. His father among them. Gas. Peter on the death march to Mauthausen. Dead 3 days before the British arrived. His mother, Auschwitz, Bergen-Belsen, Buchenwald, the rising star. Date of death, unknown. Mr. Dussel dies in Newman, January 27, 1945. I am freed from Auschwitz. I know nothing of Edith and the children. And then I learned Edith died in Birkenau of grief, hunger, exhaustion. The winter of 45, typhus breaks out in Bergen-Belsen, killing thousands of prisoners. Among them, Margot, Anne's friend Hanelli. She's Anne through the barbed wire, naked, her head shaved, covered with lice. I don't have anyone anymore, she weeps. A few days later, Anne dies. My daughter's body is dumped into mass graves just before the camp is liberated.
All that remains.
Smile for your pictures, you guys.
was a transit camp. It was a German concentration camp in the Netherlands, but most people didn't stay there very long, and then were sent to death camps in Eastern Europe, which is what happened to the Frank family. They ended up in Auschwitz. Now, my family, one day my father met a friend on the street who had just received Ecuadorian passports from Sweden, and he gave my father the name and address of the person who had sent them. And right away my father sent passport pictures and a letter, but the passports did not arrive. And so that day in June, we were deported to Westerbork, and we were there about 4 months. And the most horrible part of Westerbork was that every Saturday afternoon, the train arrived from Auschwitz, usually from Auschwitz, and it would be a cattle car train. It would sit there all Saturday afternoon and all day Sunday and all day Monday. And the way the camp was built, it was on 2 sides of railroad tracks. And the railroad track went smack through the center of the camp. And you couldn't go anywhere without seeing this ominous cattle car train. And then on Monday night at 11 o'clock, all the barrack leaders would turn on the lights and they would read the names of the people who had to go on the train. So, as you saw in the play, you live in constant fear. And in Westerbork, the fear was that your name would be read and you'd have to go on the train. And so when that happened, you listened for your name, and if your name, you were lucky and your name wasn't on the list, you would get dressed and you would go to the other barracks to see if any of your friends or relatives had to go, and then you'd spend the rest of the night together until 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. And then you would walk them to the train and say goodbye, and you knew most likely you would never see them again. And then the train left, and then you started worrying about the next week, because the same cycle happened every week. And other than that, Westerbork was a work camp, but the work was not that, wasn't slave labor the way we experienced later on. And the food wasn't great, and it wasn't adequate, it wasn't sufficient, but compared to what followed the next stage, things weren't that bad, and but the worst part was the train every week. And so then, after we were there for about 4 months, and we were fortunate not to be deported yet to Auschwitz, the passports arrived. And that made a huge difference in our life, because we were no longer just Jews, we became exchange Jews, because the Germans had a policy called the exchange policy, called Austausch, where they were hoping to exchange Jews for prisoners, German citizens caught in Allied countries. It's like a prisoner exchange. And so the passports came, and a couple of months after that, we were told that we would be sent to an exchange camp in Germany, and it would be a much better camp than Westerbork. And besides, we wouldn't be there very long because we were going to be exchanged. And so one night we left, and the camp we were sent to was Bergen-Belsen in Germany. And the minute we arrived, we knew this was not a better camp. It was far worse than Westerbork was. We saw people who looked like skeletons. They wore rags. It was very dreary. It was very crowded. It was horrible. And so we thought, well, we're supposed to be exchanged soon, so maybe we'll survive. And so in this camp, you had what they called roll call. Appel was the name, where every day you were counted on a big square. Everyone had to line up in columns of 5 and then row column after column after column right next to each other. But you weren't allowed to talk. You weren't allowed to move. You couldn't sit down on the ground. You just had to stand in place, whether rain or shine, whether it was snowing and freezing or whether it was hot in the summer. And most adults were working. It was slave labor. The work day was from early morning till 7 or 8 o'clock at night. 6.5 days of the week people had to work, and sometimes there was collective punishment, so they worked 7 days. The food rations were minimal. All we ever got was a piece of bread about this wide and a soup at night, which was made of turnips and water. And hygienic conditions were terrible. We were crowded into barracks. There were no toilets. You had to go out to an outhouse. The bathrooms were always filthy. There was only cold water and no soap. And we all had lice. Not the lice that sometimes kids bring home from school that are in your hair, but body lice that crawl all over your body and nest in your clothing, and you could never get rid of them. And they were also a cause of the spread of disease. So there were a number of epidemics in the camp. We had cholera, we had typhus, there was polio, there was pneumonia, there was diarrhea, dysentery, all kinds of diseases, and everyone was sick practically all the time. My parents, their health conditions deteriorated, and at some point, well, first of all, we were there almost 1 year, so it wasn't quick that we were going to be exchanged, and conditions got worse and worse all the time, and my mother became ill, and eventually she was bedridden. She was too weak to even get up, so I was taking care of her. I was too young to be sent to work because at that point I was 13 years old, and you had to be older than that. My brother did have to go to work, both in Westerbork and in Bergen-Belsen. And my duties were to help clean the barracks, to take care of children whose parents were at work, and to do the laundry of the family. Well, doing the laundry meant kind of rinsing clothing in cold water because we didn't have soap and we didn't have warm water. And then I had to go and hang up the clothes outside where they had some lines. And if I didn't sit there with the clothing, I would never see them again because they were thieves. People who didn't have any clothing, and I couldn't blame them for stealing. But on the other hand, I couldn't afford to lose the clothes of my family. So in Bergen-Belsen, I met Anna's friend, Hanneli. That's the way we pronounce it. I think you pronounce it differently, but it's the same girl. And she and I, we lived in the same barrack, and we helped take care of children. She was there with her little sister because her mother had died, and so it was her father, her little sister, and she, and so we became friends. And then, because of Hanneli, I got to see Anna just one time, because Hanneli found out that Anna and Margot were in another camp from the one where I was, and we were separated by a barbed wire fence, and we weren't allowed to communicate. We weren't allowed near the fence. And they had guideposts where people were watchdogs all the time. So the only time you could go near the fence and not be seen would be at night. And so one night, Hanneli went to the fence and she told someone she was looking for Anna, and Anna came. And they met, and she saw how terribly thin Anna was, and she didn't have any clothing, just a gray blanket wrapped around her. And so Hanneli said, so is there any way? And she said, Margot is too sick, she can't come to the fence to say hello to you. And so Hanneli said, is there anything I can do for you? And she said, if you could get me some clothing. So then Hanneli came back to the barrack, And she told me, and she and I gathered some clothing because the Nazis hadn't taken the clothing away from us. Of course, they were in bad condition, but we still had some. We collected a bundle, and Hanneli had arranged to meet Anna at the same place, the same time the next day. So I went with Hanneli, and Anna came to the fence, and she looked the same way, emaciated, and just a gray blanket. And we dropped the bundle over the fence. It was dark, and another woman came, picked it up, and ran off with the bundle. And so that was the only time I saw Anna, because then, eventually, or a few days after that meeting, there actually was an exchange transport, and my family was lucky to be included. Altogether, there were 300 people out of several thousand who had these passports. 300 were selected to leave the camp, to be exchanged. And so we were put on a train to Switzerland, and the tragedy in my family was the second night on the train, my father died. He also was very ill and terribly undernourished, so he died on the train. And he was taken, his remains were taken off the train in a small southern town in Germany. And my mother, my brother, and I had we had no choice. We had to continue. And 2 days later, we arrived in Switzerland. My mother and my brother were hospitalized immediately, and I wasn't allowed to go with them to the hospital. And I wasn't allowed to stay with them a few days later with all the other people who had these passports. We were taken on a train to southern France, and there was a ship that took us to North Africa because our passports were false. They didn't have any validity. So we were now stateless people. That's the category we were in. Hitler took citizenship away from all Jews in Germany. We couldn't get citizenship in Holland because during the war that was impossible. And so we had no citizenship. And the Swiss wouldn't allow us to stay there. So my mother and my brother were hospitalized, and I ended up in a refugee camp in North Africa, in Algiers, with couple hundred other people. And that's where we awaited the end of the war. I didn't know if my mother and my brother survived for several months until I got a telegram that they were recovered. And then eventually it took 1 year for me to come to America from Algiers. And then they came 6 months later, and we were reunited. So in the front family, the only one who survived was the father. In my family, the only one who died was my father. And a couple of years later, 1947, my best friend in Amsterdam during my childhood sent me Anne Frank's diary in Dutch, and it's still my treasure. When we Priest came to the University of Michigan to receive an award in 1991, she signed my diary. And I was really thrilled to meet her then when she came. I think she passed away about 2 years ago at the age of 101 years. I hope I'll be back someday. So I'll be open to any kind of questions. Yes.
So how old were you when you had to leave with the Nazis?
I was 12.
How did they pick the 300 that got chosen to go?
Well, because they were exchanging for 300 Germans who came from America. They were in an internment camp in Texas. And so, you know, in exchange, you have to have the same number. And they picked 300, but then people started dying. People from Bergen-Belsen started dying on the train. And so we stopped at another internment camp in Germany and picked up internees who were in better health. 40 people were taken off the train from Bergen-Belsen.
How did you get to America? Did you have to have a sponsor?
Yes, we had relatives in New York, and they provided, at that time you needed an affidavit, and they provided affidavits, and then once you had an affidavit, you could get a visa. But it took a long time.
Can you talk a little bit about the tree that saw from her window?
Yes. So in her diary, if you've read it, you probably remember, when she was in the attic, she could look through the window and see a chestnut tree. And that chestnut tree became a very famous tree. And for years and years, it was hampered and kept alive, but eventually it died. And so they have saplings at that time. I think it was about maybe 5 or 6 years ago, the tree died. And saplings, I think, are little roots. And they made, the Anne Frank Foundation made these roots available. You had to apply for them. And in Farmington, which is a suburb of Detroit, there is a Holocaust Memorial Museum. And they got one of those saplings. And also the Clinton Memorial, President Clinton Center in Little Rock, Arkansas, that I visited, also has a tree. And so many people can now, young people can go to these museums and see the tree, and that's the legacy of Anne Frank. As she heard in her diary, she said, I want to live even after my death. And she's the tree that on the life. And there's a beautiful necklace that some people have made with the tree that you can see through the window. And it's part of her legacy. And her diary, after the Bible, it's supposed to be the book that has been published more times than any other book in so many languages.